Hello everyone, welcome back to the next episode of our podcast, and today we have Kamna with us. Hello Kamna, how are you?
Hey, hi Dave. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. And when we ask how are you, it's always about I'm good, and that's the short answer everyone gives. But how are you really? How's life going on?
Life is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Can't complain.
Okay.
Obviously, life has its own ups and downs,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But yes, overall, life's good. Just two children, family,
Okay.
trying to get back to work.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. Can't complain.
Right. How long have you been married now?
This week I'm going to be finishing 10 years of my marriage.
Oh, okay. So a decade. Okay. So
A decade.
Yeah. So definitely now I'd want to understand how has been your married life, and I really want to understand how it has been to you. So how has been the last 10 years for you once you got married?
It would be a white lie if I say, oh, it's beautiful, it's amazing, and all of that, because I believe no relationship is ever smooth forever, right? Every relationship, mother, daughter, husband, wife, brother, sister, has its own ups and downs, and especially marriage is something which you're associated with that person for lifelong. And there are certainly ups and downs, amazing days, horrible days, all kinds of romance, no romance, there are fight, everything. So obviously, mine is no different. But if you ask me overall, touch wood, I'm certainly blessed. Couldn't ask for anything more from God is what I would say. But of course, we've had a rough patch, but you sail through. If you have the determination and if you have the maturity, you sail through everything. So yes.
Right. I've actually seen certain articles where it was written that you did not actually make it very much official. You didn't make it very grand, as in celebrations when someone's wedding is, someone wedding is going on, and the media itself got to know after a few months that you're married.
Yes.
It was a very secret one. So what happened back then? What was the thought process? And you also mentioned that you didn't want this to be shared with people, and you made it in a very private one. So what happened basically back then?
See, I would be very honest, Dave. I never had the thought of making it a private wedding or not telling people. That was never my thought.
Okay.
All right. Point one. Point two being, mine was a pure arranged marriage. We just met, and it was within 3 months we actually got married. All right. So and in those 3 months I was shooting for 3 movies. Right. So I was in a very different state of mind. I wouldn't say I was very excited. I wouldn't say I was very sad, but I was in a week, for a week I was in Hyderabad, for a week I'm in Chennai, and then for a week I'm in Bangalore, getting my hair, makeup sorted. So my attention was divided, and how? So I really didn't have time to sort of announce that, hey, I'm getting married. And in that time you really want to know this person you're going to spend your life with, right? So it was very overwhelming then, right? And back then we did not really have that craze of social media.
Right.
Instagram was still there. Facebook
just starting. Yeah.
Exactly. It was just, I was on Instagram.
The beginning of Web 2.0 back then. That is where we were.
Correct. So it wasn't that I didn't put a story that, hey, I'm getting married. Today we get live updates of people's lives. Back
Right.
10 years back, come on, it wasn't the case.
Right.
And even otherwise, I am certainly a little private person as an individual too. I do not like to share or show the world everything
that happens.
in my life, because there are certain special moments, happy moments, sad moments, that's only for me and for my family. Yeah. So if for example, if I'm in Goa with my friends, maybe Instagram, my followers will know I'm in Goa, but they will not know exactly what am I doing? Because that's my personal space.
Right.
You know, that's the kind of a person I am today. Also, that's not changed.
You know, for an actress to be shooting 3 movies, you know, simultaneously, and then getting married once back-to-back shootings were done, of course, you must remember the first time you guys met and, you know, you decided that I'd be marrying him. So how did that happen? So could you just tell me how was the first time you met your husband, Mr. Suraj, if I'm not wrong?
Nagpal, yes.
Yeah,
correct.
Suraj Nagpal. So how was the first meeting, and how did you decide that he's my man?
It was very casual. We were speaking for almost 2 weeks. Okay. It was, and then we decided that, you know, let's meet. We've just been talking because, you know, the parents kept asking what's happening. So the day we met, it was a good lunch. We had good lunch, and I flew to Bangalore to, you know, meet Suraj, and we finished lunch, and then, you know, we just decided to go for a cup of coffee, and back then we started talking, and I'm like, listen, you know, we've just met. I think we should give each other time. And things went really nice and smooth. And, you know, I said, God forbid things don't work out, let's be friends. You know, I am someone who loves making friends, right? So then he was like, okay, sure, why not? You know, because I just believe in kind of being direct. You know, I don't like to run around the bushes, and, you know, and what happens, we are Sindhis, both of us are Sindhis, and what happens is usually you change your name. A girl changes her name after wedding, you know, that's the typical Sindhi tradition. So I told him, listen, if things work out and if we decide to get married, I am not changing my name, because this is something, my identity. Maybe
is that,
on paper,
that why on Instagram it's still Kamna Jethmalani?
Yeah, absolutely, because I don't know. See, because the fact that I am, you know, married to you, the fact that we have 2 beautiful children, I don't believe the fact that I am going to remain a Jethmalani by blood. Right? Yes, I have changed on papers. My passport says, my PAN card says Kamna Jethmalani. But come on, let's accept the fact that by blood I'm a Jethmalani, and that cannot change. You know.
How was his reaction to this?
No, he was okay. He was okay. You know, because he knew that people, first of all, for him to accept a girl who's an actress, you know, was kind of a big deal, because he comes again from a very simple business background, you know. Obviously you don't imagine that suddenly there'll be an actress and, you know, things might work out. But you know, he's a very mature man, you know. I don't think he analyzed my profession. I think he analyzed me as a person. He analyzed me and what kind of background do I come from. And I feel that's how a man should approach, you know, any woman in his life, you know. Because a lady could be a lawyer, could be a police, could be an actress, could be anything. But what is more important is the kind of character, the family background. So that's exactly what he did.
Wow. Yeah. So you know, again, talking about that, I understand that now, you know, how you guys met, and it was a very foundational level kind of relationship, you know, because that's the foundation, because you have to make sure that it's very clear no matter what profession you are in. But at the same time, have you ever had this problem of having this work-life balance after getting married? Because, you know, you still acted in few of the movies even after getting married, and now you're also working currently, so, and also a mother now, so, you know, that the things that's going on happening. So have you ever had any problem when it comes to your work-life balance?
See, I wouldn't call it a problem. Okay, there's something called problem, but it's not only for me because I work in this industry. I think for every woman who's a working woman and who's had a shift in terms of a marriage, change of city, and then children, you know, there are kind of shifts in every aspect of her life, majorly. You know, because typically for a man, you know, he is usually in his own surrounding. He continues to work. He typically doesn't get any break in his career. You know what I'm saying? Wherein we it's a fact of life. I'm not complaining or something, but it's the fact that, you know, we need to, no matter whichever family we get married to, nuclear family, joint family, whichever city, whichever, you know, doesn't matter. But yes, for us to kind of get adjusted into the family, to know your partner, to know the extended family.
I think
that
it
takes
goes both ways, no? It's not just for the women but also for the man, right? Because most of the times when we talk about this, we always see women that, you know, woman is changing the place and now she's going to a new place, and we think somehow that the shift for a woman is much more difficult than the man. But I also believe that it goes both ways. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, if that is if a man decides to, move out of his house, see, I mean, let's face it, Dev. I mean, today, I don't know if you're married or no, but tomorrow, if you choose to get married, I don't know what kind of a mindset you have. Maybe you would want to stay separately, maybe you want to stay with your parents. But if you choose to stay with your parents, or if you choose to stay separately, you're definitely moving out of your house. But to a major extent, I would say 75% the city remains the same, unless there's a shift in job, right? Or whatever, personal reasons, like whatever. But the atmosphere, if you choose to stay with your parents, the only change I guess you have is, of course, the responsibility increases, and of course you have to share your room with somebody else. But then I'm just saying, for me, like, I'm not talking about other girls, but for me, I literally changed my city. We leave our families behind, and suddenly in one day, you're married and you go into another house. It's definitely, and especially olden days, it was still okay. But today, with the modern woman, we call it, she's working, she's doing very well, and she's well traveled. So for her, definitely, I'm assuming it gets a little difficult. Because at your house, your parents it is a comfort zone, obviously. At 12 in the night, you can tell your mom, I'm hungry, and Mom, I'll come tomorrow morning. But then there are certain priorities changed. You cannot do that. I'm not saying you cannot, but yeah, the priorities change. It takes time. A lot of things, you need to balance it out. You're not only thinking about yourself, you're thinking about your husband and then his family. So a lot of things, and then of course there's a break, especially for people like us. I've got pregnant twice, and then I had to take a major break twice, and it's not for weeks or months, it's for years together, right? But it's okay. I don't see that as a problem. I see that as how you prioritize your wantings, or your wishes. I just look at it. There are some people who chose not to get married. They're working, they're happy. There are some people who've chosen not to have children, because work has been their priority. So, I mean, to each to its own.
Now that I'm talking to you, you're very pragmatic, of course, and of course, with the age, people do get wiser. But now I can see this, Kamna, but I want to understand, how were you when you were a kid? So were you like this then, or were you like naughty, silent? How were you?
I have always been mature than my age, for sure.
Okay.
Because I remember in school, I had decided I must have been, I think, 5th or 6th grade. I think that's the time I decided. I used to go to school and I used to see some ladies driving these cars, and so those days. Sorry?
The boss lady, that's what.
Yeah, gentle ladies, you see on the road and stuff, while I was. So those days, I remember we used to have Maruti 800.
Okay.
And I used to see these big cars on road, and I'm like, one day I'm going to get it and I'm going to be independent, and I don't like, those days we used to get pocket money. Okay. So sometimes we used to get angry that why only this much, we used to actually get angry because we couldn't drink a full glass of juice. We had to share between four children, 4 friends, So that was typically how I think we've all been brought up. And I used to be like, no, I want whole glass of juice but my pocket money. And in that pocket money, I had to mandatory save it. That was my kind of nature. Nobody had asked me to save, but that was my kind of thing. I'll save, and every year on my birthday, I would buy something which, I've been like looking forward.
Yeah.
Correct. So then I think 6th, 7th grade, I'm like, I am going to get this car and I am going to become somebody famous, and I will be independent as soon as I start working.
So did this idea of being a actress back then also, or did it evolve?
No, not at all. In fact, I always wanted to become a fashion designer. I was also studying textile designing, and I had almost got an internship in a firm back then.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of becoming an actress and all was not even there.
Right. So when did this start? How did this shift start? To be an actress, and also I want to understand, why didn't you join the internship? Did you join, perhaps?
No, I did. I couldn't.
Okay.
So I was in college. I was in SNDT college in Bombay. It was a girls' college, and I was studying home science. So once in a year you have this intra college festivals, dance performances, fashion shows, and stuff. And so because I was always tall and slim, I was much slimmer back then. They kind of approached me that why don't you join. They just took my audition and I went through it in college. And by chance it so happened that year I was selected to be the best model of the college. And the judges who shot Chhod Do Aanchal by Bombay Vikings were the judges of that competition. And for some reason they thought I'm Mumtaz's daughter, or I'm a relative, the old actress Mumtaz.
Interesting.
And I'm like, no sir, I'm Kamna and I'm a Sindhi.
Achha.
And they were like, you are the face of our video. We got, because if you see the video, they have 3 eras of different.
Right. I love that song, by the way. Just
thank you. I love it too. I think it's damn cute.
Yeah.
So they were like, this is the face we're looking at. We're looking for. You're the one. And I freaked out. I came home and they got my landline number, and they spoke to my mom.
How's it? What's the reaction?
No, I freaked out. I was like, I can't do a video, and my mom was like, sir, she'll be there, and then she said they have to come for the rehearsal next week at Mehboob Studio. I still remember. And my mom was like, sir, she'll be there, And I was like, Mom, it's my college. And she's like, opportunities do not knock your door every day. But once it does, please go ahead. I'm there with you. So I said, okay. And I always love dancing, And then they offered me 5,000 for the video. And I was like, 5,000. I was like, chal, let me do it, I'll actually save 4,500 and 500 I'll buy first class train ticket. That's exactly, to go to college.
Okay.
That's exactly what I thought. And I said, 500 for train ticket, 500 I'll buy little tops from Bandra, and 4,000 goes for my
savings
in my piggy bank.
Okay.
So and I had no idea we shot the video. I had a super amazing time. The crew was so sweet. I was very overwhelmed with the hair, makeup for the first time in my life. Yeah, it was. But before that, I was a winner of Miss Mumbai 2003. So that also kind of gave me the confidence to face camera. Yeah, so that's how it kind of began.
And then after the shooting, what was your mindset of continuing this for a while, or what did you think about afterwards?
Till the video released. It took a month for them to release the video, and then I got back to my college. Nobody even knew. I just missed 3 days of my college. Nobody knew that I've done something like this and I've come. But my modeling was, it was there on and off, one show a week or something. That's about it. And then when the day the video released, I was as usual going to college and train. And there was a big group of youngsters who came and, ma'am, autograph. And I said, what's up? Why? Like, ma'am, you have no idea. You're on TV, MTV Week channel, I got down at the next station. I came back to Borivali, and I'm like the whole, in MTV, VTV, my songs trending, and, it's become a huge hit. And so that's how the journey exactly started.
Wow, that's really amazing, because I've seen the song and I wouldn't believe that you were that young back then, because it really looks.
I was very young.
Yeah. How old were you?
I think just about 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair age, not.
Yeah.
But cool. So you have done that, and then you were on TVs, and that you're trending now, and there are people out there who are actually asking for your autographs. So I understand that it's very surreal feeling, you know. I'm not sure if you can explain that in words, but going back home, how was the welcome that you got from your parents or from your siblings? How was it?
Like today or back then?
No, back then, of course.
Oh, it was very normal. They were happy. They were happy for me. But it was extremely normal because, you know, I come from a very strong, simple, rooted background. So even today, if I go home or, you know, while growing up, we had to do our own bed. We had to make our own tea, coffee. We had to lift up our own plates and wash our own dishes, right? So that continued. I don't think anything changed. Yes, of course, I became a little more famous. People started giving me more attention. But I feel among the family, like I started traveling more. My mom kept supporting me immensely. Of course, extended family sort of stopped talking to me because the main concern was who's going to marry her. You know?
Okay.
You know, no girl from my family has ever entered, you know, this industry. It's a taboo. But my mom was like, please keep going. Do not stop. You know, there's a reason why you're here and there's a reason why you're getting all the opportunities. Do not stop. Come what may. I couldn't complete my education. My mom was like, fair enough. You're a smart girl. You'll figure out something in your life. You know, we'll see. And, you know, if you don't like it, come back. But you'll waste a year or two of your life, which is no big deal. You can always go back to college. Yeah, so...
Was there a difference in your friend circle after you have become quite famous?
I mean, obviously, yeah, like they were kind of proud of me and I got a little more importance. But, you know, they're childhood friends, then nothing changes. You know, that's just for a moment and then nothing changes.
I've actually seen this, your friendship day post, I think 2 or 3 last Sunday. I've seen the friendship day and I've seen the after and before pictures, you know, before somewhere. I don't know how much time, you know, how many years back.
We were, oh my God, I think I was barely 16 or 17. We've been friends for over 25 years now. More than 25 years. So, and I, you know, when it comes to friends, I would say I have been so blessed because I don't have cousins.
Okay.
I grew up with no cousins. I have we're 3 of us, me, my brother, and my sister. But of course, we've grown up in our own zones. You know, I've had my own group of friends, my brother, my sister. But you know, but the kind of friends I have been blessed with, I think they are my extended family. I can't even call them friends anymore.
How does it feel to have friendships for like 20-25 years? What are the things that you basically talk? Because I have my friends, we are almost 10 years now, and it always feels very surreal to, you know, meet them, talk to them, and, you know, it's always new and fresh. So now it's like almost double because you have been friends with them for like 20-25 years. So how does it feel, and what are the things that have changed now? Because, you know, back then, I'm not sure if friends have boundaries, you know, like, hey, tu ye kar, tu ye kar. But now you're an actress and they're all again in different professions. So how do you guys meet now? Is there a different perspective that you all guys come from, or is it the same?
So the perspective always remains the same, right? So now what has changed is, of course, I have moved to Bangalore. They all are there together even today. You know, they all keep meeting and we all keep doing video call. And there are sometimes, you know, there are like, so because this year I just missed a friend's 40th birthday. She threw like a big party. So, you know, that day I had like literally tears in my eyes, like, oh my God. And, you know, I know deep down it's only a 40th birthday, but, you know, you want to be there, right? You want to, so you're missing out on Diwali, you're missing out on my birthday, you're missing out on so many things with them that you've been doing since childhood, right? So it's, I feel the FOMO, you know, all these events, especially, you know, Diwali and my birthday, and but and now, of course, everybody's moved on, everybody's married with children. You know, our lives are so different. You know, we have so much to catch up on, and so yeah. But but among all these things, we do not forget to laugh till our stomach hurts, and to start from where we stopped the last time.
Right.
And this year, after some 10 years, I took a break, and I went to Goa with my girls. Right, and it was fun. It was so much fun, but it was also very emotional because I think I've spent that time with them after a decade, and you know, we had so much to talk, so much to share, so much to give gyan to each other. So much so that we have promised each other that we will do this every year, even if it's for 4 days.
Okay.
You know, we will do this every year because we don't realize. Rather, we don't. As I don't know about you guys, but you know, we women, there's so much of pressure every single hour in our head. You know, working, food, kitchen, family, kids, school, our career. You know, if your husband's eaten on time, if you know.
Your kids.
You lose your kind of, you lose some, you're lost. Yeah, you know, you really lose it. You forget what you like and what you really love. Sometimes you forget. It's happened to me, right? And even if I'm like talking to you, I'm like, I hope my children are okay in school. I hope she's eaten lunch. You know, so but this trip, 2 days trip, 48 hours trip has made me realize that how important it is to do this. Maybe solo, maybe with your husband, or maybe with your friends, just to get a breather. And I think every individual deserves it.
You know, actually, that's really honest and true as well. I'd go back to the movies Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, which I've seen back then, and it was really touching. And I believe these are the movies, or in actions, in practical terms, I think you should have this break, because that's where you get the time to reflect on yourself. Because, you know, as you've mentioned, you just get busy in your life that you don't get you don't get time to reflect on your past, on your present, or, you know, how would your future be like from here on. And I guess these are the ultimate breaks that you can ever have, and think about it. And especially the Gyans part, I'm sure no matter how much wiser you be, your friends always has something to tell you. And,
oh yeah. Like, we actually abuse. We were doing the most silliest of the things, you know, like we've captured the most silliest of the things, and if I'm seeing it today, even after a month of that trip, I can't stop laughing. You know, so that is so important, because that is actually you.
Right.
And you can only be yourself with those people who love you,
who have
right?
seen you, who have
Yeah,
been
like
with you.
my children won't understand, you know, my to an extent, my parents will not understand this, you know, so only a certain group of people, and then and then in that whole process, you meet so many people in that journey.
Correct.
You know, you just meet other people, you speak to other people, you know, you just go have a drink with them. You know, your perception changes of life. Right. So I think if I would request other government that, you know, government should take it. No, I'm serious. I'm serious, because I haven't done it in 10 years, and you know, I'm not saying I've stopped, but then, you know, it was just, okay, I'll do it. Okay, let my kids grow. Okay, let my younger one become 5 and my older one become, you know, okay. So that, but I think government should make it mandatory. 48 hours of time.
Right.
Every individual should, and no questions asked, like literally.
Right. And since you spoke about the off time part, I somehow got reminded of the COVID, you know, time that has happened to everyone, and really bad things have happened, but also I believe the good things also happened, because we also started reflecting. So how was COVID for you? How did you reflect your time? Because I've been seeing your posts, there are lots of videos as well when we were all stuck. So I want to understand, what are the things that you have learned from that particular time?
You know, Dev, so my funda in life has always been, nothing is temporary. One. Second is,
nothing is permanent, or nothing is temporary?
So I'm sorry, nothing is permanent.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Nothing is permanent. One. And this too shall pass.
Right.
Second. So in the worst of my days, you know, I kind of tell this to myself repeatedly. So even during COVID, as much as it was a big hue and cry, which I understand, you know, with all due respect, people have lost their lives.
Right.
It was serious. Yeah, there were my moments of frustration as well, but I would say 90%. My whole focus changed. One, because I just had a child who was barely 8 months old, my younger daughter, you know, and my older one was doing online school, which typically I had to assist, because when she was only 3 years old. So that happened, and then I'm like, you know what, let's shed all the pregnancy weight that I've gained. Whatever time I've got. While, you know, I know people were baking and they were experimenting with food, I was experimenting with my workouts. I was experimenting with my, you know, diet. I actually changed my diet. I actually worked out 5 times in a week. You know, and you know, it was nice because I really did a lot of housework as well. I spent quality time with my children. I started painting, I started reading, and I realized I started cutting vegetables, and I realized that it's so therapeutic actually.
Okay.
I did some few dishes. I used to do dishes every day, obviously, because there was no maid. So, all these things make you realize that this is the real you. You do not need fancy restaurants. You do not need fancy clothes, shoes, bags to show the world. In this simplicity, also you can live a good, healthy life. And I did. I lost weight. I became more conscious of what I'm eating, or what I'm thinking, or what I'm doing. I started valuing small little things. Obviously, like I went to Bombay after a year and a half. So now I value a trip to Bombay. Initially it was like, "Arey, Bombay," but now I value that one trip to Bombay, even if it's for 5 days. I'm like, no, I have to make the most of it.
Right.
So you start valuing small little things which you thought chalta hai,
Which we might have taken for granted,
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. And how was the bonding with your husband? How what happened there to that part?
So for some people, the business was kind of doing well because so he's into a sort of online mode. So he was busy. I mean, okay, he did take a break. I mean, it was a mandatory break for everybody. So he did take a break, which he did spend a lot of quality time at home. But I don't remember he was sitting like the whole day. No, he was working. The workaholic that he is. He was working in his room half the first half, and the second half he used to come down, spend time with us, spend time with the children.
So how is he like? I'm really curious. How is he like? What are his fundas of life? And does it rub on to you? Does that rub on to you?
So, of course, there are certain things which rub on to each other because you've been staying under the same roof for last 10 years. But I think our personalities are poles apart. He is either black or he's white. I have not seen him confused. We'll see. I've not seen him making an impulsive decision. He's a very deep thinker. Anything that he wants to do, he will give it. He'll give all his energies to that thing. And he's very focused. He's very, very workaholic, business oriented. And I am chilled out. He's a little non-social. Like, he has a certain, set of friends, which his family, his friends, that's all. That's his world. And for me, no, it doesn't end here. For me, I can talk to a watchman, I can talk to a security. I love traveling, so we are poles apart. I am confused half the time.
Understood.
Even when it comes to buying a kurta, I get confused. Should I buy a black or a grey? And he's like, why think? Just buy both.
He's all sorted. Okay.
Yeah. So, and yeah, so he is also funny, but that funny side only comes out with like a very, very close set of people. Otherwise he's a very proper businessman.
Okay, all right, understood. And how are your daughters? How's life with them? How's everything going on?
Good. They're cute. They're adorable. Very naughty. Sometimes the frustration sinks in that, oh my god, because sometimes they are fighting like cats and dogs, but sometimes they just pretend like nothing happened.
We always have this thing when kids are small, they're like cute, adorable, and then we always find कि ये जब बड़े हो जाएंगे ना ऐसे करेंगे वैसे करेंगे. These are the kind of thoughts that goes on because kids come to my place as well. They visit sometimes my cousin children, and I play with them for some time, and I also know that ये एक ना एक दिन बड़े हो जाएंगे और फिर same. So how do you see that as a mother? Because you know that your daughters will grow someday, and there'll be lots of things that will happen, lots of changes again. So how do you look at that?
So my perception in life in a lot of things has always been very clear. Now I understand now. When I see my parents, like when I say my mom really pushed me to enter this industry, you know, she really encouraged me. Maybe she was trying to live her dream.
Okay.
Right? You know, sometimes we say that, oh, we didn't get a chance to do that, and I hope our children do that. But in the whole process, I hope we forget that they are a different individual. Right? If I want them to become a doctor, no, they might want to become an artist, a singer, a dancer, or I don't know, a chef, I don't know. Because they are a different, just because they've come from my womb doesn't mean I do not own them. Right? And for a lot of parents who say that, "Arey, bacha chahiye, he or she will take care of us when we are old." No, sorry, I wanted children because I wanted a family. It's no fault of theirs. I will not push on any responsibility that if I get old, please take care of me back, because you know, when you were growing up, I have done so much for you. No. I think I'm going to secure myself enough. I can afford a nurse, God forbid if something goes wrong. And I genuinely want them to live their lives as an individual, you know, and not an extended part of me. Yes, I give them the values that I have learned. I can teach them a lot of things. I make them study. I am doing everything wholeheartedly. But again, they are individuals.
Understood.
Right? Understood. So, and they keep changing, and I believe, and if not for marriage, maybe tomorrow they would want to go abroad for studies. You know, they would want to settle down there, you know, if their career is going great, which I am perfectly okay with.
You know, I've seen...
to dedicate my whole, you know, then you realize you're getting into depression. Right?
There's no your time, so you don't know how to unwind.
Right, and end of the day, today my daughter is going to be, my older one is going to be 8, my younger one is going to be 5. And I've realized that I think another 2 years they're going to move on in their lives. Right? Like today my daughter already says, "Mama, you don't come for that birthday party, just drop me and come."
Okay.
In a year she'll be like, "Mom, my friends are coming to pick me up," you know. So, and I respect that, you know, they're growing up, and you know, they have their own little life, and which is okay. So I've realized that as parents, we should not stop our lives. Right? You should, because ultimately the kids will grow and they will move on in their life. And then it's us who kind of stay back, depressed, sad. Hurry, we did so much for them, and you know, ultimately everybody, the husband's busy working, the children have moved on.
You know, so you seem very positive in these aspects, and I really am sure that your daughters are really lucky to have this chill mother, because most of them are not, you know, sometimes even though they are living in these times, there are certain things that happens here and there, and it's really sad when you actually put out the burden onto your daughters or sons, and you think that no matter, you know, if at all they have done nothing or they have done something wrong, they want their kids to be doing it right and in a way that can make them proud. I think that's the kind of burden that this new age generation is facing nowadays, and I'm really happy that you're not that, you know, you're completely different and you're okay.
No, you know, you're talking about burden. I feel so sad. I mean, with all due respect, Dave, I have nothing against any parents, but I've seen the summer break or the Shira break hasn't even started. They're freaking out with the classes, you know. And I have seen my children's friends who are doing classes, like 4 classes in a day in their summer break. And my heart, okay, they go for vacations, maybe for a week, 10 days. But the other times they're only doing, and my heart sinks. You know, I'm like, you know, when we were children, I don't know if, you know, how much of a summer break you've enjoyed, but we've not done anything. All we've done is we've gotten up, brushed, eaten breakfast and go down. You know, go down with friends and come back only like during lunch. Again, go down and slept at 2 in the night, woken up at 12 in the morning. And I think we're doing fine for ourselves. I think we're healthy, we're fine. You know, we have a beautiful, thought process. So okay, you do 1 class in a day, I understand. But I feel sad for the child that, you know, the child is not getting any free time. You know, the free time to think what he or she wants to actually, you know, even a 3-year, you know, child has its own brains. You know, they kind of know that what they want, like, now I want to be alone, now I want to eat a chocolate, now I want to do painting.
You got to get that freedom. Yeah.
You need to. How will the brain develop otherwise? Otherwise, you're only doing something with your parents, your teachers, your online class is telling you to do. You're not using your own brains.
So what's the best thing that you do with your kids? How do you play with them? Is there a routine for you? What do you do?
So when they have school, my one daughter leaves at 7:30, the other one leaves at 8:30. So when this school Monday to Thursday, there is a routine. Obviously they come back by 3:30, and then it's a snack time, and then I have my tea with them. And then they have a little play time if they want to do coloring or art. And then they mandatory need to sort of write or study or tell me what they've done in school for at least half an hour, 45 minutes. And then they eat their dinner by 7 or some class, depends on, like my older one goes for Bhagavad Gita classes. My younger one does art classes. So yes, and then by 7 we are done with dinner. By 8:30 they're off to bed. But Friday, to matlab, none of us are allowed to sleep before 11:30. Yeah, I take them for a play. I organize some play dates well in advance for both my kids, and I make sure that we all go for dinner, like they and their friends, and then we come back home. We're just listening to music. We're watching some movie, like a kids movie.
Are you friends with the parents of your kids' friends? Does it
I
happen?
am. Oh yes, in fact, very funny. But that's the reason I had my first child very, very soon after wedding.
Acha, okay.
Because also I got married late, and also but then when I moved to Bangalore, being the friendly person that I am, we had no friends. I had no friends in Bangalore. And I kept pestering, Suraj, where are your friends? Barely we met like 4 friends, and I'm like, no, this is not happening. He's like, listen, these are my friends, like sort it out yourself. And there were days I would cry. I'm like, I need friends, So I'm like, idea, let's have a child. I'll send that child to classes, and in the process I'm going to make some friends.
This is actually interesting. People are going to laugh at this. So you had kids so that you can have friends. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And it worked out. I mean, today, touch wood, I have amazing set of friends. 2 girls. I have, there's like not really a dull moment. Like tomorrow morning, we are going for early morning show. That Alia Bhatt's movie. Early morning, like by 10 o'clock.
Rocky
because
or Rani ki
Prem Katha. Correct.
Okay.
Prem Kahani, sorry. So we're going for the 10 o'clock show, midweek. So we do coffees, we do breakfast. So it's worked for me. Okay, it might not work for other ladies, so please, but it just
right. I
works.
Understand.
Yeah. So I had both my daughters. The age gap is exactly 3 years, and I'm relatively still young. So I think,
I think you're always young until and unless.
Yeah. So when my kids are in school, or when I'm in Bombay at my my parents' house, I actually forget I'm a mother, or I just do my own things.
Kamna, we all have those down phases. In the beginning of our podcast, we discussed about the ups and downs part. And for you, it's both ways, professionally and personally. Sometimes, things might go wrong, and, there are certain things, there are certain days that happen in general where the sun is not shining, honestly.
Yeah, of course.
So how do you deal with that?
So, when I was really working back to back, there were times where I've not come home. I didn't go home for 3 months, 4 months. There have been days where I've worked for 72 hours non-stop. Yeah, that's when I was shooting for multiple movies non-stop. From there to, and I was really lucky to kind of have that kind of career, to make that kind of money, to get fame and success at that age. I was famous by 22, while other people were still trying to figure out what we want to do in life. By 24, I remember having my own apartment in Bombay, like a good big two-bedroom hall kitchen. Yeah, by 26, I had 2 apartments. So touch wood, from that to not working at all. I feel every artist has they're never satisfied, or not only artist, but when it comes to work, any profession, you're not 100% satisfied. So somewhere I also personally feel that I didn't get the credit or enough roles that I thought I deserved. right? Today, somewhere even I would want to do a song what Tamanna has done. I'm just saying because I believe that I'm a good dancer. So when I see Tamanna's song like Swing Zara, I'm like, shit, I could have also done that song. I wish for that one good opportunity. And there have been days where I've got a check for a very big movie, and unfortunately that movie just didn't happen. They chose to take somebody else. And of course, then with kids, the first pregnancy, they say that post-delivery depression, which is so true. It is so real, I can't tell you. And trust me, it's not, you don't make it. Because suddenly, your face is changed, your body is changed. You're trapped you feel so trapped. Suddenly there's another human in your lap which you don't know what to do with. The child is just dependent on you. You want to give love, but you're so lost. These things are so real.
Right.
So yes, there has been extremely lows. I still have my share of very sad days. But a lot of times, when I cried out, I cried out.
Okay.
And when I cried out, I feel better. And then the same evening, I'm having like a nice chocolate ice cream. And then, like I said, nothing is permanent, and this too shall pass. And I think that's when also good friends come into picture. You can be vulnerable. You can be yourself. I'm not saying their advice will do wonders. No, they can't do jack shit about your problems. Nobody can. But then, there's somebody hearing you out. So, yeah. And then what's the fun? There are no ups without downs, and there are no downs without ups, right?
Do you have
all I really believe is just don't give up. Like if you really think you're passionate about something, and if you really feel that you believe in something, just keep going. You will crack. That day will come where you'll crack.
Right. Do you have regrets?
Yes, I do have regrets. I just feel that everybody has regrets, but I just feel that I could have, now I feel that, my parents are getting old. I don't get to see them often. I just feel that if I was, closer to them, I could have seen them at least once in a week or once in 2 weeks. Sometimes you feel just phone is not enough. And I feel I could have, been little more smart in my career and done little more better work-wise. I was very bindas. I'm like, whatever is coming to me, I've never made an effort to go approach people that, if I know somebody's starting a movie, let's go meet that person. You never know, he might cast me. So I didn't, so that's few things I do regret, but it's okay. I've learned my lesson.
As an actress, you still not have given up. You're still
no.
You have done many things, and also last time I've seen a web series of yours, Vyavastha. You're doing amazing work, and the twist part we have been waiting for. It was really amazing. Liked it. But now, what motivates you to pursue this? And
today, when you ask me this question, money is definitely not the criteria, right? Today, it's all about the quality work. Maybe today, at this point in time in life, I want to fill in the void what I've left behind back then. I couldn't do a performance-oriented role. I think I've been like a glamorous actress, but I've not had a chance to showcase my talent, right? So that's the void I want to fill in today. I would love to play a negative role. I want to break that barrier. Impression of me.
Right.
I want to do a role absolutely without makeup. So yeah, these are the kind of roles I'm kind of looking for, and I will not give up, because from the time I remember, I was 17 when I started. I only know to do this. So, and I know it'll happen someday. Right. So, my confidence was shaken, obviously, because there was quite a, long gap. When I was shooting for Vyavastha, I had been offered 2 roles, and I chose the shorter role because I was like, this might
Something
get me
different.
my confidence back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that I purely did for my sake, the
For your
confidence.
own craft.
And then I finished shooting, and I'm like, okay, fine. Now I am fine. Now I can face the camera back. So that was my whole intention of taking up that project. Yes, but yeah, giving up is not a question at all.
No, I really look forward, to watch you in different roles than the ones that I've already seen. I've loved you in Benda Parao. I've also loved you in Ranam.
Ranam.
With Gopi Chand and Action 3D and some other shorter cameos that you have done so far. But I really loved all of that, and I really want to see what else is in store. But before that, since this is about life, this podcast is about life, we ask this question to our guests about their perspective on life, because they have lived for certain years, and I really want to understand, what do you think life is all about?
Life.
Yeah.
Life. Oh my God, such a deep question, right? I think life can be beautiful. I just feel we all are we all we are all the writers of our own lives. We just conveniently blame it on naseeb mein hoga. It's just, yes, some things are definitely destined, but then how you take it, it's the it's a perception. What changes the situation? It's your perception, right? So I think life is beautiful. And I think it's really precious. And today, at 38, I can say that, just do what your heart says. It's not always about being practical or being about, right or wrong. I do not believe in the concept of right or wrong. If you want to experience a certain thing, if you just want to go to Himalayas and, have a solo vacation, please go do it. You have the chance, you have the money, you have the opportunity, go do it. And moreover, Dev, we are so busy in thinking, in living rather, in others' perspectives. We are expected to behave, sit, stand, talk, laugh, cry in somebody else's perception. Your essence gets lost in all these things. No, I am in a party, I'm supposed to be. Why can't you laugh out loud? So what if you want to laugh loud? So what if you want to wear shorts in a 5-star hotel? So what if a mother of two wants to take a solo break, for a week? It is okay. So purely, it's nice sometimes, listen to your heart and just have that leap of faith and go for it. That's what I've learned after so many experiences.
Well, I also understand and also understand the regret parts and different aspects of it. And I really want to see you doing great movies. I really love to watch you.
Sweet. Thank you.
And so this was it for the podcast. But before ending the podcast, we'll play a small game, because we have had lots of discussions, very deep conversations. So to lighten the whole environment, let's play a game. The first one would be a rapid fire game, and the second one would be probably a this or that game. So are you ready for the rapid fire game?
Ready.
Give me a moment. So you will have to be quick, right? I mean, rapid fire, so very quick. The weirdest rumor you have ever heard about yourself?
That I'm getting married to Allari Naresh.
Allari Naresh. Okay, Benda Parao. Yeah, I can. Okay. Complete this sentence. If I weren't an actor, I would be
a fashion designer.
Okay. If you were to host a celebrity dinner party, which 3 film stars would you invite?
Allari Naresh, because he's a very dear friend. Jagpati Babu, because I had a very, very good time shooting with him. And Nagarjuna, because I am personally a big fan of his. He's a charmer.
He is. Alright, next question. A fashion trend you tried once and immediately regretted it.
Oh my God. Wearing those military pants? Oh my God.
Okay.
Why they were even introduced at the first place.
Okay, all right. What is the weirdest compliment you have received from someone?
That you look fat, now you look thin, that you look chubby, so I find it very weird. I don't know. Some people find me chubby, some people like me thin, some people thought I was 6 feet height, so I keep getting these weird comments all the time.
Okay. The next question, what's the easiest way to get into your heart?
love. Just be calm. Like I don't like loud noises. I don't like fights. I don't like just pleasantness.
Okay, all right. If you could create your dream film cast, who would be your leading man and the director?
Director would definitely be Puri Jagannath. Okay,
amazing.
I think he is
I
one
love
director I really wish to work with. And I think the leading man would be Prabhas.
Man of the hour. Okay. If you could teleport right now, where would you go?
If I could
Teleport right now, where would you go?
in terms of place,
Yeah, in terms of place.
I think I'd go back to Goa.
Okay, all right. The first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the following names. Okay. First name, Ramcharan.
Oh my god, excellent performer.
Prabhas.
Charmer, amazing personality, one of the nicest looking guy I've seen. I really like him. So yeah, and down to earth.
Yeah, he's extremely down to earth.
Very soft.
Yeah. What's your favorite movie of Prabhas?
I love Bahubali. I don't know. I think that whole character just suits his personality. And it's irony of life because he's
very
tall and he's broad.
Yeah.
And then when you actually meet him, he's so soft and he's so humble. So I like that whole personality of his.
All right. Gopi Chand.
Very hardworking. Focused. Yeah, focused is the right word for him.
Junior NTR.
Oh my god, like a fire. Like I don't know what I just want to know his kunli. I don't know what is that in that kunli, what aura he has. What do they do? Like what do they do that the kind of dance, the kind of he can talk with his eyes. He doesn't need dialogues.
Yeah. I actually want you to be, leading female in one of his movies. I really want to. I don't know why, but I really, now that you have mentioned about Junior NTR, I want you to work with him someday. It would be amazing. All right, SS Rajamouli.
Oh my God, legend! Like he has broken all the barriers of director could. I don't know where, how he's got the strength of making the kind of movies that he's made. I think he's one of the directors in the South because of which the South industry has shined all over the world. And how? Right? One man and he's kind of taken the globe over.
Right. Allari Naresh.
Genuine, funny, witty.
Have you seen his recent movies? The kind of movies that he's doing?
I know, and he's a friend, versatile and an amazing human being. I mean, amazing person.
I feel that this is Allari Naresh 2.0 because the kind of movies that he's doing. Oh my God, I've seen Ugram in the theater and I can't explain how it was.
I saw Nandi. Yeah, oh my God, like I think commendable.
Okay, the last name, Samantha Ruth-Prabhu.
Oh my God, fighter. I don't know where she gets the strength from. No idea, but I don't know her personally, obviously, but whatever I've seen her on, I do follow her page on Instagram, and whatever I've seen her, you sometimes I just feel that you cannot. She's a proper example of when they say that woman she's Shakti, right? So these are the qualities which I see in that girl, and hats off. I mean, I don't know about her personal life, but whatever she's going through or has gone through, that girl never fails to surprise me. She's always smiling. She's so full of life. So yeah, she's a proper example of Shakti, I would say.
Over the years, things have happened, and the grace that she carries, I really love that, the way the grace.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So amazing, she's just too good.
Right. So this is it for the rapid fire game. Now we have another round. This is called this or that. So I'll give you two options. You'll have to choose one. Alright. Introverted or extroverted?
Extroverted any day.
DIY cooking or dining out?
Good DIY cooking any day.
Yoga or cardio?
Oh god, this is difficult. But cardio, because I hardly do yoga. So cardio.
Okay. Spicy food or mild flavors?
Spicy food, pani puri, pav bhaji, any day.
Okay. City life or countryside?
City life, dude. Who wants to go to countryside? City life. I like people. I like
Okay.
the hosh posh. Yeah, I like going to
Ah.
markets and buying my subsidies. Any day city life.
Oh, nice. This by the way, first one who has chose city life. With the other guests, they've always chosen the countryside. But nice suits your personality. Yeah.
Yeah, country is beautiful, but maybe for a week, then I wanna come back.
Okay. Action or romantic? Favorite genre?
Yeah, honestly both. Matlab, because romantic is on the days like, it makes you feel good, but action is like keeps me, abhi what next, so I can't compare, honestly. I like both.
So since we have asked this question, there's another question that I want to ask. Which genre do you want to work in for your next future projects?
I really want to do like a good action-oriented movie, where I'm actually the villain, like when I'm actually the bad girl.
Okay.
And I think, trust me, I can pull it off. Like I don't go with my face, trust me,
Right.
but I know I can. Pull
I'll
it off.
put it out this put this short clip out there so that people see and cast you. I
How
really
sweet.
want to see how baddie you would be. I definitely want to see, because we have never seen a baddie like you. I mean, I've never seen you doing a bad role, so not bad role, baddie role. So I'd want to.
Because I'm so tired. Arey, chala cute undi, amma chala cute.
Right.
matlab, I wish you could be like, you look like a daughter-in-law. I'm so tired. Like, okay, I'm cute, thank you. But no, now I want to kind of also prove myself as a performer.
I also want to see you in this horror genre, because I think you have already done this genre.
Correct.
But I felt that that was not up to the mark, honestly.
Correct. Yeah. I could have done better.
Yeah, you were you were underutilized, to be honest.
Correct. Yeah.
But I really want to see with your curly hair, the proper.
Thanks, Dave. You're like my best friend. Thank you.
Right, and I'd put this out all there. I'd tag people. So please, we want to see you back.
Sweet.
Right.
Thank you. This means a lot. Thank you.
Right, and the last question: morning person or night owl?
Night person until I have kids. Then you get up at 5:30 in the morning to send them to school.
Right.
Yeah, but night, any day, night person.
Right. So that was the last question, and by that we complete the podcast. And I really enjoyed talking to you, Kamna.
Thanks, Dave. I think it was thank you for having me. In fact, I think it was a very heartful conversation, right? And I was totally myself, and I enjoyed that. So thank you so much for having me over.
Accepting, and
Thank you.
I'd make sure this comes out the best. And I really want what all we have conversed so far, I want people to understand it, learn from you, the experience that you've shared about the work-life balance, about different aspects of friendship, relationships, how to have a good married life, and you'd have to see that as well. I really want people to watch it, and at the end I also want other to please consider my request. I really want you to be in a proper horror genre.
Oh, sweet.
So we'll see how we can work on it. Well,
Thank you.
thanks again, Kamna. Thanks.
And I wish you all the very best. God bless. Keep smiling. Yeah. I'll
Thank
see you soon. Thanks, Dave.
Bye.
Good luck. Bye.